It is February 23, 2024, and much have changed in my life. And I don't remember what I was talking about in the last episode, but I have been to the hospital to check out my ears, and because it felt like I had taken a shower twice, one day between them, and the first time I take shower, it was like water in my ears, but it didn't go away. And then I take one more shower because I should go on this meeting. I think I have I told you about that in my last episode, that it's for a meeting for disabled people. I'm sorry for that coffee, but it maybe will be more to wake you up. So I was to the hospital because I was to my doctor first, the clinic, health clinic, and they say that I was filthy in my ears, so they should check my ears to see if I have some, I don't know what it's called in English, but this crap things you can have in your ears. But my ears was total clean, so it was nothing there. And they say that I should take some medicine and to open up the ears if I have water in the ears. So I bought the medicine, but it didn't work on my ears. So I had an appointment at the hospital for my diabetes, and so I was there, and I brought with me my scooter because I was thinking I should go to the emergency room after I was to the diabetes. So I needed my scooter, so I drive the scooter to the hospital, and it's about a half hour to drive to the hospital. And so I was to the emergency room, and they check out my ears in how the hearing, and they say I was deaf on my right ear. They say so they didn't have emergency time for that day, so they say I needed to come back to the hospital next day to check it out in a real hearing. It was 4 sorts of tests they did on my ears, and they found out that I don't hear anything on my right ear, and a little damages it on my left ear. So I'm a little worried that I'm going to lose all the hearing, but here in Sweden is it for free that I can get equipment for my ears so I can hear again, but with help, and that is kind of shock that I suddenly lost my hearing, because I didn't have that before anything. My ears was perfect, but I know now. I have not talked to the doctor about it, but when I do this recording, I was thinking that it was very hard for me, and I think I have recording it also that I say I hear sounds very loudly. So that can be something that have with these things to do. It was very loudly, all the sounds, and it scares me with those high sounds in everything. I couldn't sit close to something that make noise because it was so hard on my ears. So it maybe have something with that to do. And one thing that is good is that it's quiet, very quiet around me. My neighbors, I don't hear so much of the neighbors anymore. There's running in the floor. They do those 3 kids. I don't hear that, but I hear when they do very loudly sounds, and I can hear, but not very well. And I am thinking about in 2018 when a car drive over me. I was thinking that I heard first I saw myself flying out from the bus and into the street. That I saw. So I was outside my body in that time, and I don't remember much of how the accident was. I only remember that I was laying under a car and how it smells under a car. But then I don't remember more than I wake up and I was sitting in the water on the street for a long time, but I went away with the brain, so it was not a long waiting for me, but it was 45 minutes before the ambulance came and took me to the hospital, because that's what it is today, that no one care. And it was young people, and they film me with the cameras. So I am on some films, I think, but I have not seen them. And but they didn't call for the police or ambulance. They only film and let me sit there in the water. And I remember when I have just flying out and see myself flying out in the street, then I remember I heard voices, and they say, we'll, we'll let her lay on the right side. They say that I should be on the right side, and I broke my right knee, and then I broke my shoulder in 3 places. And then it could be that it become a damage on my ears, but it took a long time before it show up. But that I have thinking about, that I heard voices saying, we lay her on the right side. And for me, after the accident, I was thinking that I was sure it was spirits. It was not people, because they let me sit there on the street, so they had not done anything. And so I was thinking that maybe I should be damaged on the right side of my body, because most people, I think, is reflexes in people, that they try to avoid to break the right side, because most people are right-sided, working with the right side of the body. And I was thinking that I maybe get more help if I broke on the right side than the left side. And I know it now, because I have talked to people when I go with a taxi for disabled people, that most people have had damage on the left side, but for me was it right side. And so I was thinking they maybe did the right side on me to be that broken, and because I should get more help on the right side if it's there. But then it doesn't work in that way, because the pandemic, the COVID-19 came, so it didn't work that way. So sometimes I'm wondering if it's like a war going on that have with me to do, that they in afterlife. I always say those positive in afterlife, because there is an afterlife in negative way, in hell, for some few. And so I thinking that they take away what should be from the afterlife's side to see it. And then I had from the negative side also, that doesn't do what afterlife wanted me to be. So the COVID-19 came, and I couldn't go and see any doctors because it was so much COVID going around, and I didn't want to have it. And so I think, why do this on the right side of me? But then I thinking I don't think negative. I try to avoid to think negative, even if it's going into my brain to think negative, but I change it to be a positive thing, because the positive with this is that I have tried to explain for the doctors that the damage I have inside my body, that they can't see, but I know. I know I was not the same person before the accident, that my body is so very bad after the car drive over me, and I think that it's a damage in my brain, and it have going on for many years because of evil people. And so I think this will open up the eyes of the doctor, that they have to go into my brain and see what's going on in the brain. And now with the ear, I have got a call. It's to wait 1 month, but I have a call that they are going to x-ray my ears. Now I try to find the word in English. It is the nerve so that is going to the ears, that these vibrations change it to be sounds to the brain, that is damage. And it can be because that's also affect the balance of the body. And I'm going very bad in my balance. And the doctor in the emergency room, she have a student with her, and she said to the student, "Look how she walk. I walk very, very, very bad. Hardly so I should not could walk. That's why I have the scooter. But I walk because I don't want my brain to forget how to walk. So I force the brain to walk." And they say that in the ear doctor in the emergency room. Look at how she walk. She say that I didn't have that balance. So it can be this with the ears. And if it's not the nerves in the behind the ears, then they must check out what is it in the brain that make her now that I can't hear, and that I have no balance in my walking. And I didn't have that before. That they have come in now. See, after that, the car accident. But before the car accident, I started to be in no balance, because when I was walking and walk over the street in earlier, I only walk over the street with, of course, checking out so it's no car coming, but suddenly I started to not could do that, because my balance was so bad. So I had to stop before I walk over the street because I couldn't look at the side. Walking fast over the street and look at the side, I couldn't do that anymore. And that was before the car accident. With the car accident, that was continuum of development of something that have with my brain to do. So this that I don't hear on my right ear, that can be a start for the doctor to go into the brain and check it out. I don't know why they refuse to go into the brain and check it out, what's going on. So that's where I am today. I am until April, in late April, I'm going to the hospital. I'm going to drink a little water now. And so this with time to do when it's come to the spirit, when they talk in the spirits, when they say that tomorrow, for them in time, when they say tomorrow, it doesn't means tomorrow in real, because they don't see the time. They don't use the time. So, but tomorrow, to understand what tomorrow means, when the spirits are saying, it is a short time, is tomorrow. And if they don't say any day, like, we're gonna heal you, like that, and they don't say anything. But if that means it can take 20 years, but it can also be a shorter time, maybe 1 year, like that. But if they say, like they told me, tomorrow, that is a short time. But it doesn't mean tomorrow, it means a short time. And it starts to be a short time, because it's going fast now to check out why I can't hear on my right ear. But this with the ear, I thought it should be. I have been nurse, and I go to people that couldn't hear, and I thought it was worse than this. I think it is okay for me. The only thing disturbing is like it is like water. I say Niagara, the fall, the Victoria Fall, a real hard flood of water running in my right ear. So that make my brain be more tired now, because it's here, this sound the whole time, like you fill up a bath tub with water. Sounds like that the whole time. So I can drive out, but I have to be careful as I don't hear. So I can't drive very fast. I have to be careful. But I'm going to drive outside, and I drive to the hospital also. But I knew that I didn't hear, so I had to pay attention to much more than before. So it's late April, the last appointment to the hospital, and then is it vacation, summer vacation there for those that work in the hospital, so that there will not be so much going on. But I am staying at home in the summer. I never drive away or take a flight away in the summer. So those money, I got support money. I think it was yesterday I got support money from someone. Those money I'm going and save them for the winter time, so I can take a flight away from this cold grey weather and be somewhere. Or I don't know what's the meaning of the support money, but it can be that I needed to take a flight to somewhere where God is calling me to do. But I hope they understand in afterlife that I can't travel like I did before, because my body doesn't work anymore like it did before. So I have told the afterlife that I need someone to travel with me, and I got this person in Africa, and he said that he should come and take me to Africa, but I am not in that shape. Of my health is not good, so it's only if I hear from God I do it, but it's not wise to travel to Africa. It's because there is I need to take many sort of vaccine, and all these filthy streets, I can't go there. And so I was, because everything fit into what he was talking to me about. And he said he should come to Sweden and bring me back home. And it sounds like it's maybe something God called me for. It's look right. But then he be like relaxed and thought I should come. I have already made up his mind. because that was what I find out very quick, that as I have been in Africa, I know I was always the last one. When I was to the churches, even if it was my crusade, all the men was preaching before me, and people be tired, and they went home and not listen at my preaching. They say the man is going first, and then if a woman want to say something, then she do it. So I know he was talking like that to me, and I knew that's the culture clash. It's a cultural thing that they think like that in Africa, that they are so very important men. And then he was started to send me from YouTube videos, and it was like, most of you know this with Benny Hinn. Those preachers that are screaming, and then they throw out a jacket or something, only arm to people, and they fall. Half of the church is falling down on the floor. And that is for me the devil that have that church when they do that, because those the real one of God's people, those doesn't hit people and make them fall on the floor. And I did that once in a church in United States before I knew God, really knew God. And I fall under a chair and hit my head very hard. I got a shaking in my head. And this pastor, he was saying to me that I had cancer in my body. This was over 20 years ago, 22 years ago. And he tried to get me to get cancer in my body by saying these things. And he make me weak. And then it show up that he was a criminal person. He do drugs, and he had 2 wives. One wife in New York that he had run away from, and then he had someone, wife and children, in Virginia Beach where I lived. And so he was the devil's son. And those churches that is called the deliverance churches, that is the devil's church. And he don't hide anymore. So that is a pretty common word for a church, the name of a church, deliverance. And that's a deliverance that the devil is doing to people. I was in a deliverance church in Portugal, and the pastor come and say he wanted to lay hand on my head, and they come so fast. It was 4 or 5 men that surrounding me, so I didn't know what to do. And he come close to lay hand on me, but suddenly he fell back on the floor. The pastor that should lay hand on me, God helped me. God didn't allow him to lay hand on me, and that church was called Deliverance Church. So I knew from that start, when I saw what God did to that pastor, then I know that Deliverance Church is the church for the devil. So I don't go there. But this man from Africa, he was sending me lots of videos with this deliverance and when people are falling down because the preacher hold the hand out in the air over lots of people, and they all fall or go crazy. And I knew that I only check it out some seconds, because I didn't want to bring it into my brain. Because if you watch those videos for a long time, that is the same thing that the devil is going into your brain and damage you. So you should not watch those. When you see this deliverance devil things, you should not watch the whole video. Only some second only to see that is bad videos. So he was sending me maybe 10 links for evil, bad things. So I knew he was not good. So I blocked him. It sounds very good, but it was not good. So it's to be very careful now, because it's running wild now. I heard this morning that the government in Germany, they allowed people to have drugs, like not heavy drugs, but drugs, hashish, like marijuana, things to smoke in their home. They were allowed, and they can have that on them when they are out in the street. And that is also one sign of we are in the last days now, very, very close to the last day, very close to the last day, very close to the last day. So you know that in your mind, you can see how much is changing to the worse. Very fast it's going to change people's mind. And now was it also that Musk, he say that this AI should go into, like, now I have forgotten, but it was something new things is going to take the brain of people. And it's going on with the medicine also. It sounds good. but is bad in the long run. And that's what the Bible is saying. In the last days, it will be the good will seems to be evil, and evil will be good in people's mind. And you should be careful now, because it's going on and going fast, and it sounds good, but it is evil. So be careful, and we'll see what will happen with the ear, the right ear. I hope it's not going to be anything on the left. The left is a little deaf, but I can still hear people talking. So we'll see what will happen. I am thinking like this, that I should have been killed in year 2000. And I should have been killed when I was 2-3 years old. There also I was driven over by a truck, and I was dead for a little while. And but I am always thinking about year 2000, that I should have been killed. So I have lived 24 years more. And that is something to remember, that the life is not over yet. It will maybe come something surprising that make everything turn around to be a healing or something. I don't know, but I'm thinking that I should have been dead since year 2000, if not the higher priest come to my home, and that higher priest was the one that had followed me down to earth. He followed me when I was born on earth, and he was standing there in my home when I was thinking I should go and make a suicide, and he stopped me. So that's what I need to think about when it's this kind of things happen to me. Many other people have made a suicide in this situation, but we are not allowed to be like God and make suicide. We are not God. That is not upon us to tell ourselves that it's stop now, it's time to die. We can't do that. We have to wait for God to call us back home to heaven. We can't do it on our own. So thank you for supporting me, because what I was telling, that when everything this is over with my ear and the doctors, then I need to go and rest somewhere in the winter time and not be waiting for spring to come like I do now. But the spring is almost here now. So I'm thankful if it can come. But today it was storm out in the morning, so it was no spring. But we count it as spring because is 1 week that is over 0 Celsius degrees. If it's going on a whole week without going down to minus, then is it spring? And I have a garden where I can go out in, and I'm not going to grow so much vegetables like before. It was because of the COVID-19, and we don't have COVID-19 anymore here in Sweden, so I don't need to grow that. I will grow flowers this spring. Nothing to take care of the whole time. So thank you for listen, and thank you for follow me. Life is not over yet, and you know that on YouTube I have written that for this channel list for this year. Life is not over yet. So thank you. God bless you.